Stop. Don't throw out that blue pebble. That's not just a rock, it's a $15,000 mistake waiting to happen. In Montana, one creek, one bucket, and one $25 gamble can change everything. I'll show you 4 field tests: hardness, dichroism, specific gravity, and ultraviolet, using tools you can buy for less than a tank of gas. You'll learn how to do a scratch test with a Mohs 9-pick, spot dichroism with a $20 dichroscope, weigh for density on a $15 pocket scale, and catch fluorescence with a $12 ultraviolet flashlight. In 1895, Jake Hoover sent a cigar box of blue pebbles from Yogo Gulch to Tiffany Co. They paid him $3,750 on the spot. That's over $125,000 today. He was a broke prospector. That could be you, if you know what to look for, and if you don't walk away too soon. Montana's sapphire story starts with confusion. Miners in the 1860s gold rush kept finding blue stones in their pans. Annoyances, not treasures. They tossed them aside, chasing gold. But the ground here is different. The Little Belt Mountains, the gravels of Rock Creek, the terraces of the Missouri River. Each one hides a different kind of sapphire. I've seen Antwerp dealers pay more for a single unheated Montana blue than for a whole parcel of African stones. Why? Because the science is real. The color, the clarity, the story, they are all locked in the rock. And if you know how to read the signs, you can pull value out of the dirt. Let's start with Yogo Gulch. Picture the year, 1879. The gold rush is winding down, and the easy money is gone. Jake Hoover, a prospector with more grit than luck, is panning Yogo Creek. He keeps finding these blue pebbles, flat, glassy, hard as steel. He does not know what they are, but he is stubborn. He fills a cigar box, ships it to Helena, and the local assayer shrugs. So Hoover sends it to Tiffany Co. in New York. Enter Dr. George Frederick Kunz, the most respected gemologist in America. Kunz opens the box, tests the stones, and writes back that they were the finest precious gemstones ever found in the United States. Tiffany pays $3,750 for the lot. That is the moment Montana sapphires go from nuisance to legend. But here's where the myth gets slippery. You'll hear that Yogo sapphires are in the crown jewels, the only North American gem in the collection. I have heard it in Antwerp. I have heard it in Montana. But I have checked the records, and the truth is colder. Not a single official inventory, not a single museum document confirms a Yogo sapphire in the crown jewels. The Stuart sapphire is Asian. St. Edward's sapphire is medieval Europe. The Yogo story is real, but the royal connection is wishful thinking. Do not let a good story blind you to the facts. What makes Yogo sapphires different? It is the geology. The Yogo dike is a vertical seam of lamprey, an igneous rock that punched through ancient limestone 50 million years ago. Sapphires here grow in place, not washed down by rivers. That means they are small, flat, and almost always a pure steel cornflower blue. No color zoning, no cloudiness, no need for heat. The best stones are cut straight from the ground, unheated, and fetch $2,500 to $10,000 per carat. The Smithsonian has a 10.2 carat Yogo, worth over $85,000 by today's standards. The largest ever found was 19 carats rough, cut to 8 carats, and appraised at $50,000 or more. But most Yogos are under a carat. If you find one over 2 carats, your hands will shake. Now, if you want to dig your own, you are not going to Yogo. The dike is private, locked up tighter than a diamond vault in Antwerp. But you can get the next best thing at Gem Mountain, near Philipsburg. This is where the public gets a shot. You walk in and buy a bucket of sapphire-rich gravel, $25 for a small bucket, up to $150 for a big one. They hand you a tray, a screen, and a wash tub. You sit at a picnic table, dump your gravel, and start washing. The water runs cold, the gravel grinds under your fingers, and every so often, a glassy pebble flashes blue, green, yellow, or pink. Staff will help you spot the good ones, but the thrill is yours. Most buckets yield 2 to 10 sapphires. Some visitors pull out stones over 2 carats. In 2019, a tourist from Texas found a 3.8 carat blue sapphire. After cutting, it was valued at over $15,000. In 2021, a family from Washington found a 2.2 carat color changer. I have seen people walk away with 60 stones in a single bucket. The odds are not great, but they are real. Gem Mountain isn't the only game. Rock Creek and the Missouri River, El Dorado Bar, Spokane Bar are alluvial deposits. Here, sapphires formed in ancient volcanic rocks, then got washed down by rivers and glaciers. The result is rounded, water-worn stones in every color: blue, teal, green, yellow, orange, pink, even party-colored. The geology is messier, the chemistry more varied. That's why you get the full rainbow. But most of these sapphires are pale or cloudy when you find them. That's where heat treatment comes in. Let's talk science, but keep it short. Sapphires are corundum, that is aluminum oxide, with a Mohs hardness of 9. Only diamond is harder. The color comes from trace elements. Iron and titanium produce blue. Iron alone produces yellow and green. Chromium produces pink and purple. Yogo sapphires have a perfect iron-titanium balance, a steel blue color, and no zoning. Rock Creek and Missouri River stones pick up whatever the river brings, sometimes blue, sometimes green, sometimes a mix. That is why you see Montana blue as a distinctive, steely shade, not the velvet blue of Kashmir or the royal blue of Ceylon. Now, field tests. You want to know if you have a sapphire? Here is how I do it, and how you can do it for less than $50 total. First, the hardness test. Sapphires register as 9 on the Mohs hardness scale. You can buy a Mohs hardness pick set for $25 online, or use a piece of corundum if you have one. Clean a flat spot on your stone. Drag the pick across, firm, not gentle. If it scratches, it is not sapphire. If it does not, you are in the game. Be careful. Synthetic sapphire, ruby, and moissanite will also pass. Do not scratch a finished gem unless you are sure you want to risk it. Second, the dichroscope test. A basic dichroscope is about $20 and fits in your pocket. Hold the stone up to a window, shine a strong white light behind it, and look through the eyepiece. Rotate the stone. Sapphires are dichroic. They show 2 colors or shades, usually blue and greenish blue, or blue and gray. If you see only one color, it is probably glass or spinel. If you see 2, you are closer. Third, specific gravity. Get a $15 digital pocket scale with 0.01 gram accuracy. Weigh your stone in air, then suspend it in water and weigh again. Divide the air weight by the difference. Sapphires come in at 3.95 to 4.03. Glass is 2.5, quartz is 2.65, spinel is 3.6, cubic zirconia is 5.6. If your number lands in the sapphire range, you are almost there. This only works on loose stones, not mounted ones. Fourth, ultraviolet fluorescence. Buy a 365 nanometer ultraviolet flashlight for about $12. In a dark room, shine the light on your stone. Some sapphires glow orange, red, or chalky blue. Not all do. Montana stones are hit or miss. If you see a glow, it is a clue. Spinel, zircon, and some synthetics also fluoresce, so do not rely on this test alone. Always use multiple tests. If you want more locations like this, exact coordinates, field guides, stones most people overlook, subscribe now. I have spent years in the field and in the Antwerp trade rooms, and I will show you where the real value hides. Let's get honest. Most people will not find a $15,000 sapphire. Most buckets at Gem Mountain yield stones under half a carat. The big ones, the 3.8 carat blue and the 2.2 carat color changer, are rare. The ODDS are better than the lottery, but not by much. And if you are dreaming of Yogo Gulch, forget about walking in. The dike is private, the claims are locked, and the best stones are already in museums or private vaults. But the thrill is real. The science is real. And every so often, someone beats the odds. Let's talk about heat. About 70 to 80% of Montana sapphires are heat treated. That is not a secret. It is standard practice. Heat deepens the color, clears out the silk, and turns pale stones into marketable gems. But unheated stones, especially from Yogo, are the holy grail. Only about 15% of Montana sapphires are naturally marketable in color. Unheated stones with strong color and clarity command a 20 to 50% premium, sometimes more. A 1 carat unheated Yogo can fetch $2,500 to $10,000 per carat. A heated Rock Creek stone of the same size and color sells for $800 to $2,500. Always ask for a lab report. GIA, AGL, Lotus, GRS. Natural means nothing unless it says no indications of heating. If the price is too good, it is probably heated or treated. Now let's get specific with notable finds. Jake Hoover, in 1895 at Yogo Gulch, sold a cigar box of rough sapphires for $3,750 to Tiffany Co. The largest Yogo ever found was a 19 carat rough, cut to 8 carats, and appraised at $50,000 or more. The Smithsonian holds a 10.2 carat Yogo, worth $85,000 by current standards. The Big Sky sapphire from Rock Creek, found in 1972, was a 24 carat rough, cut to 12.54 carats, and had a 6-figure value. The Ponderosa sapphire from Rock Creek and found in 2019 was a 64.14 carat rough, the largest gem quality sapphire ever found in the United States. It is not yet cut, but if it is clean, it will set a record. The Thompson family found a 50 carat rough on the Missouri River, cut to 8 to 9 carats and valued at $10,000 or more. At Gem Mountain, tourists find stones over 2 carats every season. The big ones make the news, but the small ones are in every bucket. Rock Creek and Missouri River are different beasts. These are alluvial deposits, sapphires formed in volcanic rocks, then eroded and carried by rivers. The stones are rounded, water-worn, and come in every color. The geology is messy. The chemistry is wild. That is why you get blue, green, yellow, pink, orange, and even color changers. Most stones are under a carat, but the occasional monster shows up. Public access is real. Gem Mountain and Spokane Bar both offer pay to dig. You buy a bucket, you wash, you hope. Some claims are private, some are open, but always check the rules. On federal land, you can stake a claim, but most productive areas are already taken. Yogo Gulch is different. The sapphires are in situ, grown in the rock, not moved by water. That is why they are flat, tabular, and almost always cornflower blue. The dike is private, the access is closed, and the stones are rare. But if you ever see a Yogo in the wild, you will know. The color is unmistakable, the clarity is surgical, and the price is high. Let us get practical. If you want to hunt Montana sapphires, here is what you need. A Mohs hardness pick, $25 from Amazon. A calcite dichroscope, $20 from Amazon, or Techco Plus. a digital pocket scale, $15 from Amazon, and a 365 nanometer ultraviolet flashlight, $12 from Amazon or Uper Lights. Start with the hardness test. If it scratches, move on. Check dichroism. 2 colors and you are closer. Weigh for specific gravity. 3.9, 5 to 4.03, you're almost there. Shine the ultraviolet. If it glows, it is a clue. Always use multiple tests. No single method is perfect. And if you are serious, get a lab report. The most compelling story is still Jake Hoover. Picture him in 1895. Broke, stubborn, hands stained with river mud. He sends a box of blue pebbles to New York, not knowing if they are worth a dime. Dr. Coons opens the box, tests the stones, and writes back that they are the finest precious gemstones ever found in the United States. Tiffany pays $3,750. His hands shake. He is not a jeweler, not a scientist, just a man who refused to throw away what everyone else missed. That is the lesson. Value hides in plain sight, but only for those who look twice. Buy a bucket at Gem Mountain. Bring the right tools. Test every stone. Don't trust your eyes. Trust the science. If you find something special, get it certified. If you want to go deeper, learn the geology. The best stones are where the science says they should be. And if you want more field guides, more locations, more stories like this, subscribe. I'll show you where the value hides and how to pull it out of the ground. Montana's sapphires aren't just stones. They're a test of patience, of skill, of knowing what to keep and what to throw away. The odds are long, the work is dirty, but the payoff is real.